Hello, Tennessee history. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend and good week last week. This is the last lesson for Tennessee history. This is it. We have started from the beginning in August, and now we are finishing and ending Tennessee history. We've come a long way, and we're going to finish this lesson with the Tennessee state government. As you're watching this video, take notes because you will use these notes to answer questions for the assignment I give you for this week. The United States of America is a country that has a government that is a federal republic, meaning the citizens of the U.S. vote for leaders to make decisions and laws for the country. So people vote for leaders, representatives, to vote for different things, vote for laws and make decisions, and the government can only do, but even with that, the government can only do so much because people have freedom, they have rights, and the government in our country does not take over people's rights. People in America have freedom, and they use their freedom and rights of the government, that they are, have been given, and the government cannot and does not withhold their rights or freedom. So, with that said, all states have a constitution, and they follow the general outline of the U.S. Constitution that includes the rights of people, as far as the rights of free speech, the rights of religion, the rights of, being able to, really have freedom, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so different rights are included in the state constitution. Well, the Tennessee Constitution is the foundation for government. It gives details of the Tennessee government and how people can become a governor, senator, and representative. And also, like I said, it includes rights of people in Tennessee. Tennessee's first constitution was created on February 6, 1796. And it was updated in 1834 and then last updated in 1870. The government in the U.S. has three branches, and the Tennessee government has three branches as well. They are the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. And we're about to go over all three branches on this lesson. First, we have the executive branch. This branch is made up of the governor. The governor is the leader of the state who is in charge of all functions of state government. The governor promotes the state and is looked upon as a source of inspiration who can motivate people to reach goals that might otherwise go unidentified. The governor makes sure the laws are being followed and recommends new laws to the legislative branch. For a person to be governor of Tennessee, a person must be at least 30 years old, must be a U.S. citizen, and have been a state citizen for 7 years before the next election. So they must have lived in the state as a state citizen. They may be a U.S. citizen, but their driver's license says they're in North Carolina or in Alabama or Florida. And so they must be a state citizen of, Tennessee before 7 years before the next election. The governor serves 4 years and can be elected to serve another 4 years. That's the executive branch. The legislative branch, this branch makes laws and handles the money for state government. So with different laws, they start out as bills, and so people present bills in the legislative branch, and they vote on them, and they become laws. and they handle the money for the state government. Well, elected representatives are in this branch. You have two sets of representatives. You have the House of Representatives, and you have the Senate, just like in the U.S. There are 99 Tennessee representatives and 33 senators. And like I said, they will vote on bills to become laws, and they will make different decisions with that. And the people vote for these representatives and senators. There are 9 representatives of Tennessee that are a part of the U.S. House of Representatives. So we have 9. They go to Congress. Then we have 2 senators that are a part of the U.S. Senate. So 2 senators out of the 33 represent Tennessee in Congress. Like I said, these representatives vote on bills to become state laws, and there are requirements in order to be one of these representatives. The last branch is the judicial branch. This branch is made up of the courts of the state. It is the job of the courts to interpret and apply laws. They decide differences of opinion between citizens or individuals through hearing cases and trials. And so when people say, this person broke the law, they will hear, this branch hears those cases. Here people are put on trial, and the further serious it goes, the more it's appealed, and they continue to take it. It goes up into higher courts. And so there are different courts in Tennessee. The highest one is the state Supreme Court. There's the appellate court under that, and then a general trial court, and then lower local courts. So there's like city courts and county courts. The state Supreme Court consists of 5 judges who are elected by the people. So people vote on them to represent Tennessee, or as far as be the highest judge in Tennessee, and they hear cases that are appealed. And so when people get a ruling on other courts, they file for appeal. If they obviously don't get the decision they want and don't feel like their justice was served, and so they continue on, and then they take it up to the Supreme Court. And so you have, like I said, the state Supreme Court is the highest one in the state, and then you have the ones below that. So you have the executive branch, legislative branch, and judicial branch. And also counties and cities also have governments with a mayor and council and constitution. And they follow really the laws of the state, and also have their own set of things for each city and county. Well, in order for providing things for the state, taxes are collected by the Tennessee Department of Revenue. And citizens will pay these taxes, pay money, that provide for a number of things. Education, state parks and recreation, for those that are disabled, to build and repair roads. If there's a pothole, or if they're making a new road or trying to, improve traffic, that's through state taxes. Public school education that comes from the state. State parks, the Great Smoky Mountain, park, that is funded by the state. And there's other, state parks as well, and different things. And so, but those are all taken care of and provided for by taxes. Well, I want you to know who is in each part of the 3 branches, as far as the big main representatives in each one. In the executive branch, the governor of Tennessee right now is Bill Lee. Bill Lee is our governor. Tennessee's 9 representatives that go to Congress or represent Tennessee in Congress are David Rowe, Tim Burkett, Charles Fleischman, Scott Desjarius, Jim Cooper, John Rose, Mark Green, David Kustoff, and Steve Cohen. Those are our 9 representatives that go to Congress and represent Tennessee there. And then our 2 senators, state senators that go to Congress and represent Tennessee are Lamar Alexander and Marsha Blackburn. So I want you to know who the governor is and who our representatives are. And then the Tennessee Supreme Court justices who hear the cases at the state Supreme Court are Jeffrey Bivens, Cornelia Clark, Holly Kirby, Sharon Lee, and Roger Page. And what I want you to do for the assignment this week, you're going to answer questions from the material presented in this video. So use your notes that you have taken on this video, and you will use that to answer the questions for this assignment. Well, we are coming to a close. We have learned a lot this year in Tennessee history. We started with the state divisions. You have East, Middle, and West. We had different regions of the state that we went over. And talked about physical features. We talked about those that first entered into Tennessee, about Native Americans and the first Europeans to come over. And we talked about how certain towns, were formed in different places in the state, and how people adapted as far as learning how to live in Tennessee. We talked about it becoming a state. It was a territory. It was just land, and then it became a state. We talked about its involvement in the Civil War and the War of 1812 also. We talked about how it celebrated 100 years as a state. And we talked about so much more. But I hope you enjoyed learning about the history of the state of Tennessee, and hope you continue to learn more about our state and just see all that we have here in Tennessee. I want to tell you I'm proud of you for working hard this year. Proud of you especially for during this time, how we have not been able to be together in the classroom, and how you have continued to work hard, continue to learn more about Tennessee, and continue to turn in your assignments. So I'm proud of you. Thank you, parents, and thank you, students, for your hard work and your cooperation. I appreciate that. I enjoyed teaching you, and hope you have a wonderful summer. One more thing, forgot to say this. Your assignment for this week is due this Friday at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. This Friday at 5 o'clock. But like I said, I enjoyed teaching you, and I hope you have a good summer.